Hi, everyone. Robin McCoy with another episode of Relax, I Got This, and our Agent to Agent series, where we are headed to Georgia, North Atlanta, the Alpharetta area with Mary Ellen Vanaken. So stay tuned.
A real estate transaction is potentially the largest investment we make in our lives. Whether you're buying and selling your personal home or investing in real estate, you need the knowledge to make the right decisions. Get ready. Robin is a Texas realtor and has the experience to give you the information you need to make the right decisions. Welcome to Relax, I Got This with your host, Robin McCoy.
Hi, and welcome to our Agent to Agent series of Relax, I Got This. And today we are with Mary Ellen Vanaken. She is a fellow agent with KW from the North Atlanta area. Mary Ellen was born and raised in Long Island, New York. And after graduating from college, she worked on Wall Street for JP Morgan in New York City. For the past 25 years, she has been living in Alpharetta, Georgia, with her husband and daughter. International travel and business are her passions, and she loves to go and see as many countries as possible and just indulge in their culture. Now, as real estate goes, her outgoing personality is known to be a bit aggressive when marketing real estate. Her goal is to make you happy, and she knows that buying and selling houses can be very, very stressful. Her job is to make it as stress-free as possible. And with her background in accounting and finance, she'll be able to help you find the best value for your money that it can buy. So welcome, Mary Ellen Vanaken. So hi, Mary Ellen. Thanks for coming to the show today.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to talk about my area of Atlanta, Georgia.
It's fun. It's fun. I've so enjoyed talking with our fellow colleagues from around the country that we've met through Keller Williams and many of our mastermind groups. And I just love learning more about not only you as a realtor, but the areas that you service and why you enjoy being there. What are the fun things that somebody should know?
Absolutely.
About all of it.
Fun areas.
Yeah. I mean, what makes North Atlanta fun and special, right?
So just a little bit about me. So I am born and raised in New York. So I'm a New York girl. I'm a Wall Street girl. My background is Wall Street and investing. So when I got into real estate 20 years ago, yes, it's been 20 years, and I've been with the same Keller Williams office in Alpharetta, Georgia for 20 years.
You're the same unicorn as me. I'm with my original office as well.
Office haven't moved from anywhere. So so that's my background, is Wall Street, New York girl. From school, I'm all about investing, finance, and purchasing a home is like the biggest investment you're going to have. So why not go to a specialist who knows all about investing and where to put your money? So that's a little bit about me. Born and raised in New York. My background's Wall Street. So I'm all about investing. So that's why I originally got into real estate. Okay. I wanted to help people and help them build wealth. And I think that that's what's really important. So at the end of the day, you want to build wealth with your properties, whether they're investments or whether they're personal properties. You want to be able to have that equity so that you can retire early and you can do the things that you want to do. So
I think a lot of people don't understand that just buying a house isn't just a place to live, that it is in fact building wealth and leaving legacies and being able to use that as leverage into the next thing.
Yeah.
Right?
And what's so exciting is that building a legacy and building that wealth, sometimes you don't realize that you're doing it. And now you're able to do that and build that wealth for your family. And I think the best thing about how I can tell you how I kind of go with the flow with things is, like I said, background is Wall Street. I have been an athlete my whole entire life. I ran track and I played soccer in high school and college. And, just being on a team environment, I think that helps so much when it comes to real estate and communicating and working in that team environment. Because when you come to us, we're going to have that whole team that's going to make it a bulletproof transaction. And I think that's important when you're dealing with, real estate and a transaction and most of the emotions going through a transaction. And a little bit about my area. Yeah, exactly. A little bit about my area is, so I'm in Alpharetta, Georgia, which is, if you look at Atlanta, it's kind of like a clock. So I say it's like a clock and we're at 12 o'clock. So
Okay.
Atlanta's down here and Alpharetta's up here. The main thing about Alpharetta that's really enticing for people to move here is that we have over 900 technology companies, and
Okay.
most of them are internationally based.
Now,
So
is
we
that
have a lot
Alpharetta
of,
or is that Atlanta as a
no,
whole?
that's Alpharetta. We
That's
actually have
Alpharetta.
more technology companies in Alpharetta than we do in Atlanta. So
Wow.
a lot of people will come to the area because of that. So, and that's the reason why I moved to Alpharetta is my husband owns a manufacturing company and it's international company. And we moved to Alpharetta. So that's the reason why I'm in Alpharetta. So believe it or not. So I can tell you like it is, you know, married to those engineer, CEO, IT people. I can deal with all different kinds of personalities.
Yeah.
So I think that that's what's important is also making sure you're the right fit, because not everyone's going to be the right fit. And
Right.
I don't sugarcoat anything. I am a straight shooter.
I can
So I'm going
attest
to
to
tell
that.
you the pros and cons of everything when you're buying a house. So I think that's important as well. So when you're choosing someone, you want to choose someone that you connect with and that has your best interest at heart. And I'm all about, it's not about the transaction, it's about the relationship. And it's also just about, you know, finding that lifestyle that you want to live, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's you know, people move all the time, right? And we all move for
Always.
different reasons. You know, whether it's a job, like you said, that brings you to a certain place, or whether you're already there and it's families are growing or they're decreasing because kids are graduating and moving out and doing their own thing, and babies are being born and people are retiring, and there's life just goes on all the time, which causes us to move. And
Absolutely. All those life-changing events.
all
And
those life-changing events that we don't think about because it's not happening to us in that moment. But that is what's important, whether you are moving in or out of an area or within an area, is finding an agent you connect with, right? And that is you know, understands your needs.
right. And also it's so interesting, the lifestyle, like and I think everyone thinks Atlanta's a huge place. Okay. It really is. It really is. So you want to find an area where you want to live in, and you want to find a specialist in that area. And the reason why I say is you can go Alpharetta from one side of Alpharetta to the other it could take you 30 or 40 minutes because it's that big. It's in 3 different counties. So it's like you can't go by counties too. So you have to go in more of specific areas, specific school systems. And that's what you have to really, you know, that's what we pride ourselves in, is that we will help you get to the right schools, the right lifestyle, what you want to, you know, live in. And like within where I live, there's probably 7 golf courses within a 10-mile radius. So it's all about here. It's all about golf. It's all about tennis. It's all about pickleball. It's all about swim team, and it's all about community. So we have a lot of these things called subdivisions, which, coming from the north, I was like, what's a subdivision, right? So a subdivision is a bunch of homes that are in one neighborhood, and they usually have a swim and a tennis court and a playground. So it's all about lifestyle here. We have so many different areas where you can go on the greenway and walk, or you can, so it's lifestyle. You're close to restaurants, you're close to shopping, and that's kind of what's important. So we talk to people because traffic in Atlanta is horrendous. It really is.
That's what I hear.
Right?
I've never actually been to Atlanta, except I may have flown through there or landed there once or
twice.
You
know, it's like New York. It's horrendous, right? Yeah. And everybody's going to say that, right?
It's
and
just it's terrible.
Everybody gets in their car and they drive to work, or they drive their kids to school. So there's always traffic out and about. So you really have to be, it's so important is finding out where you're working, if you're working from home, and really wanting to live where you play.
Yeah,
so I
think
that's
one of the things too. I think if you're coming into an area, right? So somebody's getting a job at one of these technology companies, and they go, "Oh my gosh, it's in Alpharetta, but is that where I want to? What do I do?" Because choosing incorrectly can be disastrous.
Are you looking to buy or sell a home in the bustling DFW area? Look no further, because I am Robin McCoy, your trusted real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. For over 15 years, I've been helping buyers and sellers navigate the real estate market here in DFW. So whether you're looking for your dream home or aiming to sell your property for the best price, relax. I got this. As a seasoned professional, I'll guide you through the entire process, ensuring a smooth and stress-free experience. I understand that buying or selling a home can be a significant decision. That's why I pride myself on providing exceptional customer service. I'll be with you every step of the way, answering your questions and addressing your concerns. So why take a chance with just any real estate agent? Choose me, Robin McCoy, the professional who has proven my excellence in helping both buyers and sellers in the DFW area for over 15 years. Call me today at 214-226-3770 or visit my website at robinmccoyrealty.com. Let's make your DFW real estate dreams come true. Relax. I got this.
So somebody's getting a job at one of these technology companies and they go, oh my gosh, it's in Alpharetta, but is that where I want to, what do I do? Because choosing incorrectly can be disastrous, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, all of a sudden you're
Absolutely.
on the other side of town and it's an hour and a half commute that you weren't
Right.
anticipating because you didn't think of the questions to ask, right? And I'm
Right.
sure
And that's why
what
we have you
do.
covered. That's why
Yeah.
we have you covered, because we live and breathe this whole entire area.
Yeah.
And what I would say is, in our area, you're going to have a lot of high executives. You're going to have those IT people, those engineers. You're going to have those athletes that live in this area. So we have gated communities and not gated communities. We have swim and tennis clubs, and then we have golf courses and swim and tennis clubs. So there's so many things to choose from when you're here. So that's why you need someone that asks a lot of questions, which we do, to get you where you need to be. Another thing about Georgia that people don't know is that we have the 4 seasons here. So we have winter, which is really small. It rains a lot, we have winter, and then we have spring with all the pollen. Yes, we get a lot of pollen. And then we have the summer, which lasts a little longer, and the fall. So that's the best thing about being in Georgia, is that you are going to get the 4 seasons. Will you get some snow? Every once in a while, we'll get a dusting. And what I tell people that come from the north, they go, well, we're coming down here because you don't have any snow. I go, well, sometimes you might get a dusting. And what happens is it snows and like 2 hours later, it's gone. So you can
That's
play
the best kind of snow I like.
The best snow out there. It's like you can snow, and then we've had some storms in the past where, we've been ice storms and things like that. And yes, they do cancel school if they predict it's going to be icy here, because they don't have the materials to take care of the roadways. So that's, people laugh about that, and
but that's how it is in Dallas too, right? We're along that belt that we may get a little bit of snow and it's gone by the afternoon, and they are going to close school. That's just the way that's going to be, because you can't have a school bus full of kids out on an icy road that isn't going to get taken care of.
You can. So, I mean, just that kind of stuff. It's all about lifestyle. It's all about the kids, the kids having community here. There's so many, the kids are all into sports and the schools, and you've got the private schools and the public schools. And you have to just, first of all, I always tell people, pick, if you have a family and a growing family, is that we have to really focus on the schools and where you're working, right? Because we want to keep you to be happy, because you want to come home from work so that you can still play with the kids and do things, and you don't want to be aggravated. So I think that's kind of important, finding the schools and then finding the activities for the kids, that they want to be in. And I would say a lot of the subdivisions, which kind of blows my mind, you have like some of these subdivisions where you're going to see a mix. Everyone's like, oh, does it have young families or old families or what? Every single subdivision has a mix of everyone. You're going to have empty nesters in there. You're going to have first-time home buyers. You're going to have families with small kids. You're going to have families with, middle-aged kids. So it's so interesting that no matter what subdivision that you go into in Georgia, in this area, it's just a mix of people. And that's what's so exciting about coming from Atlanta, because a lot of people in Alpharetta, where we live, aren't from here. So so
where are they from? Are they from like all over the country?
All over the country. You've got people from New York and Connecticut and Long Island, where I'm from, and then you have like people come from Texas and California and Florida. And what we do see is we do see a lot of empty nesters, retired people coming to this area because they want to be by their grandkids.
Yes.
So I think that's so important, that what we're seeing is that they want to spend time with their grandkids. And since their kids are here with the companies that are here in Atlanta, they're following them. And we sell a lot to empty nesters wanting to be close, but not so close to their kids, right?
Close enough to see the grandkids, but not close enough that they're like
activities, but not close enough. And another thing that we do have here is that we have 2 counties that will that once you turn 62, you don't have to pay school tax on. So it's very attractive.
Interesting.
Yes, it's very attractive to those empty nestered retired people to come, and they might be in a different county than their kids, but they'll be close by.
Close enough.
We do have some counties like that. So
interesting.
I mean, you don't know till you talk about these kind of things.
Well, and that's just it too, right? So you're moving to a place, regardless of what your situation is, whether, you're chasing your grandkids or your job relocates and moves you there. You've got to know what you don't know. And the only way to do that is to talk to somebody that can just fill in those gaps for you.
Absolutely. And I think also what's so enticing to be in the Atlanta area is you've got the international airport, and
that's huge.
And that's a huge reason why we live here. My husband,
you guys travel a lot.
Travel a lot. I love to travel. Everybody knows how much I love to travel around the world. Going to Japan next week, so I'm so excited to see the cherry blossoms.
Yeah,
which is here. Which is so pretty here. So I think knowing that you are close to an airport as well, and depending on, it might take you an hour, it might take you an hour and a half, it might take you 45 minutes, but you're close enough to the airport to be able to do a lot of direct flights all across the world. And I think that that's important. And that's why a lot of companies have moved to this area, because of there's so many direct flights from Atlanta, and we have our own international airport area.
Well, and that's huge. I mean, I had a friend that was retiring. She ended up in a outside of Tampa, but these were the things she was looking at, right? What is the demographic? Where's the airport? I need an international airport because she travels a lot.
Right.
She wanted these core things that I think a lot of people, she was a CEO, so she thinks at that that level, right? Yeah, but a lot of times we don't think about it. We go, oh, that looks like a nice area. And then you get there and it takes 3 flights to get out of.
Correct. And that can be a problem. So another thing about this Atlanta area is that, we don't have the beaches like all the other, people, but we're close to the beaches. I mean, of course it's, you can hop on a flight and get to the beach, but you also could drive to the beaches. The beaches are anywhere from 5 to 6 hours away from the Atlanta
so it's
area.
About a day drive.
So you can hit the Georgia coast, you can hit the Florida coast, you can hit Alabama coast. So there's a lot of different places that you can drive to. So that makes it attractive to people because, if you have a bunch of kids and you just want to hop in a car and go to the beach, you can. So it's not like, yes, we are landlocked, but it's not like a crazy landlocked that, it's going to take you 10 hours to get to the beach. So I think that people like that too. And another
those are good beaches. And those are good beaches. We've got Florida and Alabama coast are good beaches.
Some great beaches. And I think another thing that people like about the Atlanta area is that you literally fly from like Alpharetta, you can go less than an hour and you're in the mountains. So you're in the Appalachian Mountains. You are in the mountains. You can hike. There's so many places, waterfalls, and so much outdoor things that you can do. And there's lots of wineries too, if you like wine, right? You can go up into North Georgia and you can go to the wineries as well. I think we have something for everybody.
Sounds like it.
Entertainment. We've got that kind of stuff. We have, a lot. It's very community based in this area. I think that's the best way to put it, is that you will find the community. You're not going to be bored. You'll figure out whether it's pickleball, whether it's tennis, whether it's
what your
soccer,
thing is,
whatever it is. Because I'm always playing tennis. Everybody knows I've been playing tennis for a long time, and tennis is huge here. And now pickleball is huge here too, as well. And golf. Yeah. So you've got all those activities and you've got the kids doing that as well. So I think that's kind of exciting. Now, one other thing that's really interesting about Georgia too is that when you come in here and during the winter time, our grass it's brown. And then all of a sudden, right around in the next like 3 weeks, all of a sudden, everything's going to start blooming. Everything's going to be blooming. We're going to get green grass. We're going to get amazing azaleas. We're going to get, and guess what comes with that? The pollen. And your car's going to be covered in green, right?
So we get that too. You walk out and it's just everything's like this green yellow color, and you're like, oh, that's nice.
All over the place. So I mean, you've got the green stuff. So people do have allergies, and sometimes we have them in the spring and in the fall as well. So that's not such a great thing about it. But honestly, when you see the azaleas here and when you see the flowers blooming, it's incredible. So I mean, I think that's outdoor space is so important here. And we definitely have a lot of outdoor space for you to just do what you're doing, whether it's an outdoor kitchen, whether it's a fire pit, whether it's a pool, whatever you want in that backyard, we can help you do there. Also, one big thing about Alpharetta that people don't know is that we have horse country in Milton. So Alpharetta is also comprised of Milton. And that's kind of where I live. I live on the Alpharetta-Milton border. So what's so pretty is that you will see houses. Most of the houses here have an acre of land in that Milton Alpharetta area. Okay. And there's a lot of horse farms still intact.
Oh, nice.
So we have an equestrian area too as well. So
beautiful.
How would you figure
just
that?
Even drive through, that would be beautiful.
Oh my God. And when the fall comes and when all the trees change colors, it's absolutely gorgeous.
I love it.
So you can take a drive up to the mountains, or you can just drive through like the horse country too. So
horse country, go grab a little lunch, go pet a horse, and
pet a horse and go on the horse,
and then go get back to the city.
And jump back to the city. So I don't know, what other questions do you have for me about
what's the real estate landscape look like? I mean, do you have a lot of people moving in, a lot of people moving out? Do you see it growing kind of crazy?
Yeah, so we're always growing, which is amazing. And what we do is we do get a lot of relocation. So we do a lot of relocation.
Okay.
We get a lot of people coming in, and then we also get a lot of people going out. So it's great for our agent to agent referrals across the world, because I'm always referring people everywhere because people are moving. I mean, clients last year moved to Europe. So it's just amazing how people will move in here. They might be here for a couple of years and then they're moving out, or then they move back. Like I had some clients from Germany who moved back to Germany, and 3 years later they're moving back and we're buying them a house there, so it's like people in and out. So there's a lot of there's not a lot of move up and move down buyers, because a lot of our is relocation. So we do have a lot of relocation, and we do have like condos and townhouses, but most of this area are going to see single family homes.
Okay. And you said most of them are on how much of, like, it sounded like a pretty big lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, in certain parts of Alpharetta, it's an acre plus,
Wow.
And then other parts you're going to have less than an acre. And a lot of these new subdivisions that have come in and they kind of clear cut everything, which I don't like, but that's what they do. They put houses up on quarter acres and half acres and stuff, but that's more on like the east side. We have an east side and a west side of Alpharetta, and it's because 400 is, so when you go in Atlanta and then you go north, you're going to take a road called 400, and then we have Alpharetta. We have an east side of Alpharetta and a west side according to where it is on 400.
Okay.
So the east side is a little more congested than the west side. And the west side is where you're going to see the horse farms, and you're going to see mostly people live on an acre of land, where on the other side, it's more congested with, you're going to see some property, but not, it's going to be more of that under half acre.
Planned communities where they come in, and
communities and stuff like that. And, everything is changing all the time. It's always changing. So there's always new subdivisions being built. New construction's huge here. So when I do take out people, I always say, do you want to consider new construction? And it's funny because they always say, no, 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 no. But I always throw one in and then they end up buying new construction because people like new things, right?
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. It's interesting that way. So you never know what people say, what they want. And then you kind of meet up with them and you kind of gear what direction they're going in, and kind of which area that they would like.
Well, and that's kind of our job too, right? Is listen to everything that they say they know and they want, and then maybe throw in one or two things they weren't thinking about, just because we've got to cover our bases to do the best service for our clients, right?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, yeah. So the market here is definitely has always been very, very strong. So we, even in 2008 and 9 in the area where I'm at, we didn't have a lot of, loss in value. So the values are always going to go up here, which is great. I don't foresee that ever not happening. So I think any kind of investments here is good.
Do you feel like it's affordable, and what is your, affordability is a relative term.
It sure is. It just depends. Like, so in Alpharetta, the area, it's really hard to find something under 500,000 at this moment. You might be able to find some condos or a townhouse, but that doesn't mean like if you need to be under 500, there's some other really cute cities around the area, which I bring a lot of my first time home buyers, to Woodstock and Canton and to Cumming and just different areas, and just kind of, and they're close and commuting to the Alpharetta area. So I think that if you look at the big picture, we cover that whole North Atlanta area. So there's affordability in the whole area. It's just a matter of finding what exactly you're looking for.
Yeah. Well, and it goes back to a little bit what you said at the beginning about this investment, right? That you may want to ultimately live in Alpharetta. Maybe your budget calls for one of these other areas now. Then as that value goes up, you take your equity out of there, you go buy an Alpharetta, and now you have a great rental property.
There you go. Yes, exactly. What do people do? I mean, that's the whole thing, is inventory. Yeah. And I think with all the new construction we have in the area too, that definitely helps with our inventory a little bit now too. Yeah. It's just, we're finding that people, they know what they want, which is, and they come to us. And I would say things about this area is that most bedrooms have their own bathroom. So that's, which is a luxury. And then if you have people that come in here and they go, well, there's 3 bedrooms on the second level and there's only 2 bathrooms. And you're like, yeah. And they're like, well, which one of our kids want a bathroom? And I'm like, yes. So what I would say is people come here from the north and they're like, oh my God, I can get like a mansion. You know what I mean? Like, so the properties, and we have 3 levels of property, 3 levels where you have a house and you have the main level, and then you have upstairs, and then you have a basement, but they call it here a terrace level.
Terrace level.
So we have 3 levels, like we have basements. So, and most of the basements, a lot of the basements are walkout basements, which are really cool because it's very hard to find a flat piece of property. So everybody wants a flat piece of property. We have a lot of hills. It's not like Florida. So like people come from Florida and they're like, well, we want a flat piece of property. I'm like, well, good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
So, but we'll see what we can find. But, so that's another thing that people understand. And I think that's why people are like, wow, you have such big houses, because we have 3 levels. Like we have a basement, we have a first level, and then we have
that's nice. That's nice. It's almost like this unexpected extra square footage when you have those. I mean, we don't have those in Texas.
Be the leader you know you can be. Build your professional network and access education that takes you where you want to go. We are women of all ages and backgrounds. You deserve national recognition and opportunities to build relationships with people you want to work and grow with. Hit the ground running with the Charisma chapter of the American Business Women's Association. Meetings each month from 6 to 8:30 p.m. on the 4th Tuesday in Farmers Branch, Texas, and online. Come with us. Experience ABWA for yourself. Go to charisma.abwa.org to learn more.
That's nice. It's almost like this unexpected extra square footage when you have those. I mean, we don't have those in Texas. We don't have them in Texas.
Right.
We had them up north. When I was up north, we had basements.
Right. And I'm from New York. So we had a basement. It was a basement. And we had like one little window in the basement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But here it's like a lot of times you'll be in a terrace, a basement. I still call it a basement, but a terrace level, and you'll have like windows out, like tons of windows in your basement. So you get a lot of light in there. So, and then people will take that level of that basement and they will put in a bar. They will put in, they'll put in a game room with, so that they can play pool. They'll also put in a media rooms, and they'll put in another bedroom. So that's nice if you have a big family and you've got teenagers who want to like be by themselves. They go in the basement.
You got to watch that sneak out, that walk out though. You got to watch those
you got to
kids.
just be careful.
You got to put an alarm on that door, otherwise they're sneaking out.
But like other than that, like so I think that's also interesting. And I would say that the property lots are a lot more narrow than other places where you'll find, like in Florida or whatever, you'll find a very wide lot, and that's why they put all those wonderful ranches on there, but then they don't have a backyard where we're really narrow and back. So that's narrow. another thing that you don't know coming in here until you start seeing things and you're like, well, I want a ranch. And I'm like, ranches are really hard to find here. They just started building ranches, probably in the last 5 to 10 years, because people didn't want that. It's very traditional here. You like walk in a house, you've got the living room to the right, the dining room to the left. You go in, you get this big family room. You've got maybe a bedroom, you've got the kitchen, laundry room. So it's very traditional. Our houses are very traditional here. So it's very interesting when someone comes from California, they come from Florida, and they're just looking for that different vibe, and it's like very hard to find. So
like I said, and it's part of being in some of the South, right? And some of the old South in some of these areas, right? So those styles are geographic. They just are. And
it's so traditional. I say it's traditional. It's like everything's brick here, it's very traditional. It's but they do a lot of custom homes that are now, the farmhouses and things like that. I mean, they definitely have, done a lot of that stuff. But I would say in the last, 20 years, a lot of the stuff that they put up is very traditional.
Yeah, that's what we had, and that's what I think what happens and it goes in segments, right? But now you're getting a lot more new construction that is, and I think every large city is, because they're trying to make up for some of that inventory that we've been missing for the last few years when builders stopped building.
Yeah. And we're just always growing here because people are moving to this area, especially a lot of companies are moving to this area. And it's about the lifestyle because, people are like, wow, you can get like 4,000 square feet, here, or 5,000 square feet. And they get all excited because they're like, I'm used to 1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
They come in here and they're like, wow, and they envision what they can do. Cause of course you can redo a house and make it your own, right. And update it and do things like that. But I would say the area that we're in is very, very young. So you're not like you're not going to find houses that are 70 years old. You're going to find
no 1920s houses.
Exactly. You're going to find most houses that are, 30 years or younger. So I think that's another thing.
That's different.
See that. So
that's different too.
But you'll go to different parts of Atlanta and you're going to see those old, but the area where I'm at, you're going to see most of the houses are less than 30 years old.
Oh, that's interesting too. So you talked about so much. You talked about all the cool
I know
things.
I talk a lot and very fast, like blah, 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 blah.
Like I got you rolling and you just said, okay, here we go. So what is something that maybe we didn't mention that if somebody is considering moving to even just the Atlanta area, why would you say choose Alpharetta? Obviously job and things like that, but what makes that maybe more a favorite for you versus maybe another part of Atlanta?
Yeah, I would say so. It's just very community orientated. And I think it's at the end of the day, most of us have families or starting families or whatever, and we just stay in. And even empty nesters, there's a beautiful downtown area that they have now with all walking restaurants and areas. So no matter where you are in your life, whether you're just got married, or you're an empty nester, there's something for you there. So I think
Awesome.
every age is there. The only thing I would say is we do not have houses that are older. You know what I mean? So I mean, if you're looking for a 1920s
if you want like
house,
that old 1920s arts and crafts,
and those are gorgeous, but that's not in Alpharetta. But hey, I'll refer you to someone down in Atlanta that can get you that. So I think if you're looking for just, I would just say it's such a relocation trans area that everybody just loves, whether you're 10 years old or you're 90 years old, you're gonna find your space. It's not just all for young people or all for people with kids.
Sure.
And I think that was what was always very appealing, is that you've got people in your neighborhood that are newborns to 90 years
it's almost
old,
like you can grow old with your neighbors, right?
Yes,
It's
kind of like that.
You find these people, everybody, they just stay and the kids grow up and the kids go away and you grow up and
it's just a continuous
aging
thing
with your friends and progressing in through your life, right?
Yes, we all age, and you can play tennis and pickleball and we have a lot of like senior centers with senior activities, which are great because we have such a need that a lot of, like you said, a lot of people's parents are following them to Georgia for specific great reasons. So that they're definitely accommodating all different age groups, which I think is great.
That's huge. I mean, it's no secret that our population is in fact aging, and that we need, just because you're aging doesn't mean you're, like a little old lady. And we need the things that appeal to those 50, 60, and 70-year-old plus active adults.
And then we also have some great, so many like cute little small independent living places. So when people do move out, which we do deal with a lot of people that, they're moving out of a house now, they're going to move into independent living. There's so many opportunities and so many amazing brand new places here. They have built so many new places in this area that it's just because they needed it. That's what they needed to do. So they were building it so that they can also be on their own and not living with their families. Although we do, because our houses are kind of the 3-level big houses, we do have a lot of multi-generational people live in a house, because they have to take care of their mom or their dad or whatever. So we do have that as well. And I think that that's what is so great about this area. It's just like we can accommodate anybody.
That's what I was going to say. Anybody. It sounds like, whatever that makeup looks like, because all families are different, right? They all look different, and being able to accommodate any of those varieties of combinations, I think, is huge.
Yes, it's definitely. Huge.
So, all right. Well, that is Alpharetta, Georgia.
Yeah, Alpharetta. There you go. That is Alpharetta to a T. To a T. You can work out. I mean, you can do everything. It's all about being active out there in the community, being active in your exercising, restaurants, entertainment. You've got it all. So
that's awesome. Well, we're going to put all of your contact information obviously out there for everyone. So if you are considering a move in, out, or around the Alpharetta, Georgia area, make sure you reach out to Mary Ellen. She has got years of experience. I know how learning based she is. She makes it her mission to know what is going on, and you will always be in the best of hands. With Mary Ellen.
And if it's not this in North Atlanta, obviously you see my map over here, and it's a big place. Atlanta's a big place. So
big place.
Just if you have Atlanta, call me and I can definitely guide you in the right direction and guide you with the right person to help you in that area.
That's perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Mary Ellen. I so appreciate it. It was great seeing you last week in person.
Yes, it was. And it was so great. And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And anytime you need anything, just give me a buzz.
I'll do it. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Relax, I Got This, and our Agent to Agent series, this time in Alpharetta, Georgia with Mary Ellen. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for Relax I Got This with Texas Realtor Robin McCoy. Check out all the show notes for contact information on Robin and our guests and to access your free buyer and seller guides. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a conversation. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Relax I Got This with Robin McCoy.